Yes. All right.
Hey, Calvin. Dave,
All right.
ready to get started?
Yeah.
Dave from the Hammer MMA, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So this is your very successful fight over a top-ranked middleweight, but you still seem to want to go back to welterweight. With the difficulties in making the weight cut to welterweight that you've had before, are you going to change anything different to get down there, or do you want to maybe take another middleweight fight or two while you adjust?
You know what? I think if I'm offered a fight that interests me at 185s, then I don't see why I wouldn't stay here. You know, but I think my 170s is my optimal weight class. I took this fight as a favor for the UFC. I knew they needed a replacement for H.E.A.T, so I stepped in, and I heard they need another replacement in Brazil with Vitor Belfort. So if they want to make that happen, then I'm.
So that's the fight that we're interested in.
I'm willing to step up and do that as well.
Hi, Calvin. Congratulations on your win. Thomas Lee, Ryerson Television. What was your game plan going into fighting Team Kennedy tonight?
My game plan was to be the quicker, more mobile fighter. You know, I'm a stick and move and defend the takedowns. And that was the game plan.
Calvin, can you clarify what Vitor Belfort fight are you talking about?
You know, I heard that he's going to need a fight in Brazil. I'm willing to step up and take that fight if they need to.
A fight against Vitor?
Yeah.
Okay. That was offered to you?
It was not offered for me, but that was just something I had in my mind.
Okay. Can you expand a little more on the reason as to why you would even consider going down at 170, because you missed weight by 10 to 5 pounds twice now. You look so good. You're doing amazingly well at 185. Why would you do this to yourself?
You know, I feel like 170 is my optimal weight class. My height and my reach is at a disadvantage at 185s. You know, these guys are over 6 feet tall and have a major height and reach advantage over me. So I feel like 170s is where my body type fits best.
But even all that stress that you put on your body, is it worth it?
No. But again, you know, I get too heavy outside of camp, and that's my problem. You know, I like to eat my Mexican food, and it shouldn't be that way. You know, my whole camp is concentrated on losing the weight that I gained outside camp. So it just shouldn't be that way. I was able to get away with it the last few fights, but you know, the older I get, the harder it is to cut the weight. And you know, I think if I change my lifestyle up a bit and create a better lifestyle where I'm at a better weight outside of training camp, I think it'll be a better fit.
And one last thing in the back, did you speak to the UFC brass? Did they tell you what, I know you say you want to go down, but were there any discussions about what they would like for you to do?
No. I haven't had any discussions. I'm gonna go back, talk to my management team, talk to them, and talk to my family and see what their next move will be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calvin, you had a great performance tonight, obviously getting the finish against Team Kennedy. Was there ever a point in the fight where you felt you weren't going to be able to finish him because you were landing a lot of shots on Kennedy and he wasn't going down?
Yeah. I mean, every fight I feel like, I don't know if I'm going to finish, I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, obviously the plan is to go in there and finish in the first round if I can. But Tim's probably one of the most durable guys in the sport, one of the most durable guys in the division. So I wasn't surprised if I was going to be able to finish him.
And just one more thing, you talked about going down to welterweight. If I remember when I spoke to you pre-fight, the plan is to work with George Lockhart if you were to go down to welterweight. That's sort of what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, and what are some, why do you feel like he's sort of the best option for you as far as, getting down to that weight class?
I've worked with him before, and he's gotten me down to 170s pretty easily, and I think like he's probably one of the best in the game right now as when it comes to nutrition and weight cutting.
Calvin, oh sorry, can people hear me? Calvin, sorry, I'm with Alex Lee with the score. I want to ask, Kennedy was coming off a long layoff, obviously, but you mentioned that he's one of the toughest, most durable guys. Was the plan always to push the pace, knowing that he was coming off a layoff, or was that something that sort of an adjustment you made during the fight?
That's just my style. I like to push the pace, man. I like to be the one that comes forward. I like to press the pace. I don't know if you guys noticed that by now.
Hey Calvin, so after a victorious win, how are you going to celebrate tonight, or just take it easy, rest off for the next fight?
Man, I got a flight in 5 hours, so I'm just gonna go home, pack my stuff, and take a little break, and take a nap, and go to the airport. Other than that, thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Calvin.
Hey Cowboy, David from MMA Media. So before the fight, it seemed like there was some bad feelings between you and Matt Brown, possibly entirely one-sided. Was that resolved by the fight? Do you feel like you've earned his respect?
Yeah, I mean, that was just him working with my old coaches, man, telling him, one, I'm probably a slow starter, and two, I'm an emotional fighter, so probably get in my head and trying to go out there and get me to fight angry. So got him to hug me in the third round. It was all good.
So that's another knockout victory for you at welterweight. I know you've bounced back and forth between welterweight and 155. Where do you feel you stand now at welterweight with another ranked win?
I feel good, man. Fat, healthy, and living the good life at 170. So I feel good up there. Yeah, should be easy enough for me to cut to 170 in a few weeks to make a Denver card, I think. So it'll be all right.
Cowboy, congratulations on the win. Your striking, once again, looked even better than the fight before and the fight before that. How much of that do you owe to Brandon Gibson and the work he's done with you?
Oh, definitely, man. Brandon and I have been working together. You know, I give a lot of credit to what's going on there. My head movement, though, didn't look too good, did it? Damn, I took a lot of punches, I think, a lot of unanswered ones, but you got to dig deep sometimes. That's what I love the most about the sport is when you're up against a fan taking the hard punches and you got to deep go all the way down and be like, yeah, man, fuck it, let's go.
And obviously, you like to keep active and fight as much as possible. You know, you're on sort of your own cowboy schedule, so to speak. How many times do you want to fight next year? As far as I know, Denver is sort of the first stop, but after that, have you kind of looked at next year? How many times do you want to fight?
Oh man, as many as I can. That's what I love. You know, a lot of people like to take time off. I don't know why I don't. I enjoy.
Okay, Cowboy, great. Congratulations on your win today. If there is an opponent out there that you would like to fight, who would that opponent be? Does it matter? Or?
No, it doesn't matter at all. I don't care. I really don't. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd want Damian Maia because he's on the way to the title fight. But if I had to hurry up and choose someone for Denver, whoever they want to give me, you know, that doesn't matter to me at all. So staying busy, staying fun, and that's what I love.
And the fans here, they're outside, just cheering for you. How you like the fans in Toronto here?
It's awesome, mate. I'm 3-0 in Canada now. They're finally letting me back up in this beautiful country, so it's good. Maybe I can come up here without the UFC, do some fishing, some hunting. We'll see.
Cowboy, congrats. Did the eye bother you at all in the fight?
No, he didn't really hit me in the eye. He hit me in the neck a couple times, but eye was good. I don't even think it started bleeding, but it really wasn't a concern, you know. It healed up nicely and ready to go.
Was the fight tougher than you expected it to be?
Way tougher. You hit a lot harder and it was a lot more durable than I expected him to be.
And you mentioned that you want to come back to Canada without the UFC. Can you only come to Canada if you're fighting?
Yeah, because I have to get a temporary visa to get in. Well, I didn't this time. It's the first time that they kind of just were like, oh yeah, you're here with you. Just hand my passport and let me through. So maybe I'm on like a rehabilitation program. So maybe I'm rehabilitated. I don't know.
And in the back, I know you said you wanted to fight in Denver, and there's Masvidal and other people who'd like to fight you. Usually these things with you happen quickly. Is there anything that you can tell us about Denver?
I know nothing. So hopefully I get back here and they have a contract waiting for me. If it's Masvidal, fucking A. If it's someone else, even better. Let's go.
And finally, just to wrap up the week for you, can you tell us about your lunch with Dana White? How did it go?
Went very good. It wasn't a lunch. He just pulled me aside after the media scrum, and we talked for about 15 or 20 minutes, and he's a happy man, and I'm a happy man. So just talking about what I wanted to, like I discussed with you, and you know what he expected out of me, and it went very well.
Do you feel like he was receptive to what you were saying?
1,000% receptive, yes, definitely.
Do you feel like you're in a good place with him now again?
I was always in a good place. It's like it reminds me when you get in trouble with your dad and they don't ground you. They just tell you how disappointed they are in you, which is even worse. So that's kind of what he did to me. And then he's just like, you know, you let me down. Not so much let him down, but it was just kind of a slap to his face. You know, I should have let him know what I was getting involved in. It is what it is, but we're on the up and up now.
Thank you.
There it is, no questions. Beer 30. I think that's good. Thanks, guys.
Down the front here. First of all, congratulations, absolutely sensational fight this evening. You've had an hour or so to kind of, you know, take it all in. And what was kind of the reception like when you got backstage from everyone? You know, what were people saying to you?
It was a little overwhelming. You know, it's just, I didn't get hurt that bad. You know, my head's clear, but it was just so chaotic. I don't really remember the fight. so everybody's just saying how great of a fight it was, and I was like, well, I guess it was if you guys keep saying it.
Yeah, it certainly was. Talk to me about the time in the second round. It seemed to have you in a bit of trouble, actually. You know, it was a back and forth fight, and he obviously had his moments. Did you ever feel in real trouble at all?
No, with the headshots or the body shots?
Or both. It must have been both.
At the very end of the second, he hit me with a knee that hurt, and then I kind of tried to play it off, and he went right back to my body with a punch, so I knew that he saw. But when I had him rocked, and then I was with a huge flurry, and then he hit me with a shot and it backed me up, it was because I got tired. I decided to go on defense and recharge my battery and let him blow his wad and then go right back, so I wasn't in any real danger.
What was kind of the emotion, obviously, when you did get your hand raised? Is this one of the best victories of your career so far?
I mean, it sounds like it. I'd like to watch it again, but you know, maybe when I get a couple hours of sleep and let my body heal up before I watch this one.
And what's kind of the plan now for, I guess, the rest of the years to head back home for the holiday season? But when do you kind of want to get back in there in 2017?
I just want to go home, spend some time with all my family, enjoy the holidays. You know, over 13 years, I've really, you know, sacrificed a lot and been very selfish with my time. So, you know, at this point in my career, I really enjoy my downtime. So I'm going to do that, and then, you know, if the UFC calls me for a big fight, I'll be open to hearing it.
I know you said that you're going to have to, you know, go back and watch the fight and sort of see how it sort of played out, but just being in the cage, where does this rank in terms of some of your favorite performances in your career? Because this was a fight that I think when people look back at the card, they're going to say this was the fight they'll remember.
Well, yeah, I'm happy for that, because at this point in my career, it's like, why am I still doing this? I don't want to be declining in my performances. I feel like if I start declining my performances, then I shouldn't do it anymore. But I feel like after 13 years, I've been doing everything possible to get better, be better. My last two fights before this one, I had a specific game plan to, you know, the things that Frankie Edgar exposed to me, I fixed, and I showed that. And then this fight, you know, was another fight that made me think about my Max Holloway fight, that loss. So, you know, I was challenging myself a lot in there, and being able to you know, showcase my skills once again and be a better version of myself, you know, just makes me happy.
Fresh off the win here, but you fought a lot of guys in the featherweight division already. Is there one that sort of stands out to you as far as the next fight that you'd like to have if you could play matchmaker yourself?
Honestly, I don't care. I just want a big fight. You know, you know, I think I deserved it. I've been here a long time. Just stop doubting me.
Just a couple of questions. You mentioned how chaotic that fight was. Obviously, we all saw it. What can your corner possibly be telling you in a fight like that that's useful to you at all in the situation?
You know, we had a certain game plan, just kind of moving and not being a stationary target. I didn't really feel like that was working for me, and I kind of knew in the back of my head that at some point I was going to have to brawl with him, but I wanted to kind of like break him down a little bit before I brawled with him, because he had so much success in the first round. But then my coaches were telling me in between rounds, like, you're doing better when you pressure him, just get right in his face, he doesn't like it. And I didn't really want to hear that because I was tired. But I was like, all right, that's what we got to do. I'm taking more damage backing up, so I need to push forward.
And I know he'd been calling you out for a while, which some might perceive as disrespectful, but after going 3 rounds with him like that, what are your thoughts on Choi now?
Well, all the film I watched on him, I was a fan of his before the fight, and you know, when he called me out, I definitely thought it was a little disrespectful, just because I felt like he only called me out because he thought I, you know, wasn't as good as I used to be or something, and it motivated me, and I was ready to come out here and prove him, prove everybody else wrong.
Hey, KB, Dave from MMA. So, you obviously have fought before against Jose Aldo and Max Holloway, who now hold the interim and the main belt for the featherweight division. Do you want to get back in there with both of those guys, or either of those guys? And are you planning on keeping busy, or would you rather wait until the opportunity arises to strike at the belt?
We'll see, but you know, I'd definitely love to fight both those guys. I'd love to watch that fight. You know, at the end of the day, I've always been a fan. as well as a fighter. I started as a fan. So, you know, when these matchups get made, I get super excited to watch them. So I'd love to watch that fight, and then, you know, if I'm the next one in line, then so be it.
And you come from a camp with some of the best fighters in the world. You, Donald Cerrone, and your partner, Lando Fanata, all at one time. How awesome is it to be training with 4 guys who are going to peak at the same time? And what's the celebration party going to look like when you guys get back to Albuquerque?
It was awesome. I think I'm the most proud of Lando. He's been a training partner for a long time, always putting in the hard work. I've been telling people about him for maybe 4 years now. And seeing him win earlier tonight made me super happy to see guys, you know, that I've watched their career, you know, just rise. And that was special. But I was telling the guys backstage, it was right when the main card started, you know, with Tim Kennedy and Cowboy and me and Lando and all the coaches were just kind of like weaving in the workout room, and everybody kind of was focused, and it looked like sharks in the water. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a powerful room, and we knew that it was going to be a good night for us.
Calvin, Matt Cole, Art Voice. Congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
You're number 4, you were number 4 coming into tonight, coming off of a decision, but a very high-profile win. And usually that means somebody looking up in the rankings, but a lot of people are already calling for this to be a Fight of the Year candidate, myself included. Usually that means a rematch. Is that something, even though he was ranked number 11 coming into this, is that something you'd be interested in? What are your feelings on that?
I don't really see the need for it. I've never been given a rematch for my losses, so I don't really feel like giving anyone a rematch for my wins until I get the Chad Mendez, the Lamas, the Holloway, the Aldo, all the bigger fights that I've lost. If I got those rematches, I'd be open to some of the ones that I actually won.
Hey, congratulations on your win, Thomas Lee Ryerson Television. Question is, were you surprised at the hard chin that Du Hoy had? You were just giving it to him, but he was just standing there.
I was definitely surprised. I was surprised on his quickness. I thought that I'd be a lot faster than him. He was kind of getting me to bite on some of his fakes, and so that's one of the reasons I switched up my game plan. And definitely his toughness when I started giving it to him. I could not believe how fast he was recovering, and he's definitely got heart, and you know, I'll be a fan of his forever.
One last question is, how did you like the standing ovation you received after the interview with Rogan?
I didn't even notice it, to be honest. I think that's awesome, though. That's why I do this sport. That's what it's all about, and you know, I've always fought with my heart on my sleeve and give it everything I got. Obviously, you guys see how emotional I always get. That's how much I put into it. So, you know, something like that, it makes it all worth it.
Gabo over here. You mentioned basically that he kind of got you to train harder and want to, you know, step up in this. But it seems like, too, you know, after those couple losses, we weren't talking about you anymore, really. I mean, do you need that kind of motivation at some point, you know, when you've been around the game that long, to say, you know what, man, people are sleeping on me, or this guy's sleeping on me, to get better?
It's nice sometimes, but I've always showed up in shape. I've never missed weight. I've always been a professional. So I don't necessarily need that, but every fight's different. Every fight's a different journey. And so each one, you just kind of got to deal with it, you know, the way it comes at you, and make the best of it. So this one in particular, I was fired up for, and, you know, it turned out to be a great fight.
Just there. Yourself, you were a fan before you were a fighter. There was a moment there at the kind of end of the second round, and the fans here in Toronto have waited 3 years for a good UFC event to be back here. There was a moment where the entire crowd were on their feet, and you kind of gave them that moment. Does that mean something to you, and did you kind of take a minute to kind of take it all in towards the end?
Well, it definitely means a lot to me, because there's a lot of people talking crap about this card, and it was the forgotten card, and was a little disrespected by that. You know, people were even talking about boycotting the card. So I was just like, okay, you know, I never try to be in a boring fight. So, you know, when we got, you know, Cowboy added to the card and a couple other studs, the card just started to get looking better and better. So I'm glad that people got their money's worth, and I'm happy to have contributed.
Is there something about this place? Because 4 years ago you had a KO the night here.
Yeah, you know, I was really stoked about it because I don't really like the cold, but this is a beautiful city. I can't deny that I've had good luck here, and I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I had the performance here, and I'm glad I was around a great crowd.
Perfect.
Hey, Cup, congratulations. When you say, you know, stop doubting me, who are you directing that to?
The media, people. It just, you know, I was the number 4 ranked guy. This guy had a lot of hype, but I'm the veteran. I've been around. I caught a glimpse of the odds. I think I was like at like a -300. Doo Ho Choi was the favorite by -300. So, I mean, 3-1 underdog. That's pretty ridiculous to me. You know, I know he had a lot of hype, but I took a little offense to that.
Did you feel like this was one of those matchups where there's this young guy who's doing so well, who, you know, comes from a market that the UFC is trying to build, and they're putting in the veteran against him to try to build his name? Did you feel like you were kind of being backed into a corner?
A little bit. You know, they were giving him the opportunity to shine. I felt like he was getting a lot of hype, and I see why. I mean, there are some great Korean fighters. He's definitely a talent. He's fresh meat, you know, and the featherweight division's been a weird division. All the guys at the top have been at the top for so long, and it's the fans. It's nice for them to get some new guys coming in, and I could see why they would want him to be right up in the mix. But I just felt like I wasn't gonna let him make a name for himself off of me, and he could do it to somebody else, just not me.
And as someone who is, you know, on a roll and at the top of the division, how do you feel about the state of the division? You know, with Conor leaving, he was the champion. He beat Aldo in impressive fashion. Do you feel like him relinquishing or vacating the title, not being a part of the division, do you feel like there's something missing? There's not that, you know, that king to shoot for because he's gone now?
No, not at all. I'm glad he's gone. Not a fan of the guy. He didn't want to defend his belt. I don't think anybody thought he was going to come back down to 145. It's obviously a hard cut for him. It was ridiculous, all these guys fighting great fights in the 145-pound division and not having something to shoot for. The guy that's not even fighting in our weight class anymore. So I think at first people might talk and have negative things to say, but you know, once Aldo and Holloway probably fight and things get, you know, cleared up and new guys are coming in, I think it's going to be for the better.
Last thing, are you not eager to jump back in there? Like you said, you're going to come back if the UFC offers you, you know, a big fight. You said you've done this for 13 years. Are you going to be more strategic now with the kind of fights that you're taking? Have you reached that point?
I think so. You know, it's I got my UFC gym coming out, UFC Gym Costa Mesa. Me and Bisbing starting the gym, and I'm excited to get back to work. And it's going to open in a couple weeks. And you know, I want to focus on that. I want to focus on just staying in shape and enjoying it. And you know, I fought 3 fights, you know, back to back, and you know, I'm treating my body right. So I definitely will be excited for a big fight.
Thanks.
Cobb, one last question. So you mentioned you've always had a lot of love for your friend Groovy Lando. Did you see the kick, and how excited were you?
Yeah, it was like 20 minutes before I had to check in downstairs to come over here, so we threw it on Fight Pass, and you know, I sparred him. He wasn't the style of guy I needed, but I sparred with him a bunch of rounds just because I knew that he would push me, and we would have some epic rounds. And you know, so I've seen all his moves before. I know what he does. I know what he brings to the table. I just think, you know, he's the future. He's one of those guys, and he needed a big win to come back off after his loss because there was a lot of hype on him, and he performed, and it just made me proud.
And are you guys gonna have a money fight with the $50,000 bonuses you're both likely to win?
I'm gonna try to teach him how not to spend it. I'm gonna teach him how to be real frugal and be smart with our money.
Thanks, Cal.
Thanks, guys.
We'll leave it now, like.
Max, down here at the front. You've been saying all week that you were going to have that moment in the centre of the octagon. When it finally arrived, when you're getting the belt strapped around your waist, was it as good as you imagined it was going to be?
Oh man, you guys see me fall around outside the cage? Oh, that's some funny ass shit, but man, it was 100 times better, man. I'm stood on, I don't know what cloud you'd call this, 17 or something, but it's been a hell of a ride, man, and we're just getting started, man. Tune in, man. Tune in. This is just the beginning.
Obviously, the next step would be a unification bout with Jose Aldo. What kind of time frame would you like that fight to happen in, and anywhere in particular you'd like it to happen?
I said it in there in February, and then when everything was slowing down, I was in the back. I was thinking of, I already had to give up Thanksgiving for this fight. I had to give up my birthday. And, and it's hard to find the guy, like I said, hashtag where's Jose Waldo, and let me know when you find him, teamwork is the dream work, if more of us is looking for him, we're gonna find him together, but we see what happens, I don't know, I don't want to give up my son's birthday and Christmas for February 11th and he don't show up, this guy has an act for not showing up to the fight, so we see what happens, maybe, I gotta talk to Dana White first, man. I got a brunch that I want to do, sit down with him and Sean Selby, and we can talk some business.
You've been plugging the UFC Hawaii campaign all week, and well, for the last couple of months. Does it feel closer now that you've got that belt on that table with you?
Yeah, all I gotta say, man, I love Canada. You guys made me feel like this was Hawaii. I'm not even lying. What was the seating? Anybody know? Was it sold out? It fucking sold out. It felt so. When I was looking around, I saw guys up on the top of nosebleeds like, holy shit. And people would scream my name, and it was an amazing feeling, and that's why I love Toronto. It made me feel like their own, man. I came to the Raptor games, I came to the Maple games, and they made me feel like I was a Canadian, and I love it. And I can tell you guys right now, Hawaii is much warmer. You guys are gonna love the weather down there. We have this thing called an ocean that you can swim in, and the water ain't that cold. You guys gonna love it, man. Hashtag UFC Hawaii, come on over, and there's a 45,000 stadium, the Aloha Stadium, the Hawaiian Airlines Stadium, and I think so they're ready for Hawaiian to defend a belt in there.
Max, congratulations on winning the title. When Anthony missed weight yesterday, did that sort of give you a bit of a little confidence boost going in there, knowing that he's not mentally there as far as going into the fight?
Like I said, man, it is what it is. I just knew
you know, I don't finish guys early. You know, everybody is like, oh, go in there and get a first round finish. That's just not what I do. And I like to take people in deep waters. I like to let them think that they can compete with me. And then all my finishes is later in the rounds. And I already knew, you know, once I saw him miss weight, I was like, it's gonna be a long night, my friend. And it sure was. And I got the finish. I got to go in there. I finished a guy that never got finished, you know, and he prided himself in never ever being finished. And you know, I heard I got 50 more K for that shit, so thank you Dana White, thank you UFC, and man, it's in the nickname, man, I'm blessed.
Was there a point in the fight where you felt like you could finish him? Like you felt that, you know, there was an opening there to finish the fight?
Oh yeah, when I spinning back kicked him, I showtimed him, and I was like, oh, he didn't like that, and then I landed a roundhouse kick to his stomach, and I was like, and he started staying still. I was like, oh, time is hard, and then when I was pushing him at the end, and I went for his neck, and I stopped and I punched, and he kind of crouched. I was like, oh, you know, you're done now. So I was like, okay, you know, he opened the door. I just had to push him through, and you know, I pushed him through, and now we're here.
Last question, most important one here. Where did you get that tie?
This is a secret, man. It's my look, man. You know, it's a mirror. No, it's called a hex tie, man. It's shiny as shit. I'm over here. I wanted to let you guys know. Everything gold, baby. You gotta look inside this freaking jacket. Todd Goldsmith, you the man. It's all gold, baby. Everything gold. Outside, murder outside. We was coming to a funeral, and then we did the funeral, and now I got my gold belt.
Max, congratulations. But really, how do you put that tie on? Like, how do you put it around? Honestly,
it's a clip. It's just a clip. It's just a clip, and you make it tight. So it's just amazing, though, right? Don't you take away from it?
Who came up with that idea?
I came up with the damn idea. My manager, all my fashion sense. Who in here loves my jacket? Do you guys love my jacket on media day? Hell yeah. My manager always gives me shit. There's that guy right there, Brian Butler, Sucker Punch Entertainment. I'm like, man, I'm gonna stick out. He's like, man, you look like a 16-year-old kid, you know? It's like, let me be my damn 16-year-old self.
You casually mentioned February 11th, which is the date for the Brooklyn pay-per-view. Was that offered to you?
Yeah, you know, they was telling me if I wanted to do it, and you know, in there it sounded like a great idea, but like I said, I already gave up all my holidays. I ain't trying to give up one more to hopefully he shows up, you know, and hopefully he's not gonna show up. So I don't know, man. We see what happens, man. I'm just enjoying the moment. I promised my son a trip to Disneyland, and that would definitely interfere with him. And you know, I got some bumps and bruises that I wanted to take care of, and we'll go from there.
Was that brought up after this fight or before this fight?
You know, Dana talked to me right there in the cage, so
wow.
We see what happens.
Did he agree to it?
Who? Aldo?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't talk to him. That's not my friend. You know, go find him. # where's Jose Waldo? I don't know. Let's go see.
You had the Cinemax line yesterday, the Waldo line today. Who's coming up with these lines now? Have you been holding back on us?
Man, I've been holding back, man. We got a bunch more lines. Just keep it. Just hold on and wait. We got gold coming. We got gold right here, but we got more gold coming.
And now that you do have the belts, how do you feel about it? Does this feel fulfilling, or does it feel like you needed this belt to get to the real belt?
Like I said, man, this is my golden ticket, man. You know, we're gonna. For all I know, that motherfucker that always fucking getting hurt and pulling out. This might as well have been the real belt. Most true fans know the story. You know, Connor's coach then said I'm the best 145er in the world. You know, and then Jose over here saying he want to retire, unretire. Then he gets the belt, and now he has the belt. He want to go up a weight class and still fight. So I don't know, man. Most true fans know these storylines, and most true fans said this should have been for the real belt.
And one last thing, when you do have this brunch with Dana and Sean Shelby, will you try to convince them to make the Conor fight? Because obviously, undoubtedly, that is a bigger money maker. It gets you more attention, more everything. Will you try to do that?
We see what happens, man. Like I said, man, I ain't over here begging for fights. If that guy wants to fight me, he can come fight me. I ain't gonna beg. I got so much guys that on their knees begging to fight him. If you want to fight me, he can come see me. And if you want to fight the best, you come fight Bless.
Max, how are you doing? So, a quick question for you. For the last 10 fights, you've been on the chase. You've been on the hunt going for that belt. Now you've got the belt, and it seems like guys like Cub Swanson are like, we're glad to have a champion back in the division. We're glad to have something to shoot for. Does it change anything now that you've got the target on your back, now that you're the guy that people are going to be wanting to come after?
No, not at all, man. Like I said, and shout out to Cub, man. That was a freaking hell of a fight, man. Motherfucker pulled through, man. I'm glad for that guy that he did his damn thing. And but yeah, you know, it is what it is, man. I tell you guys all the time, you know, we can enjoy this a little bit, but every fight I'm 1-0, you know, I'm looking for go 1-0. This belt ain't gonna change me, you know. It's only gonna change my bank account, and that's a beautiful thing.
And you mentioned that, you know, obviously a lot of people talk about having adventures in other divisions. What kind of pace are you looking to maintain at 145, and how many guys are you looking to fight as you extend your streak to however far it can go?
Man, I want to be the best ever to ever done this thing. You know, I want to be in the same position of Demetrius Johnson. That guy is, you know, he's just killing contenders. He's killing his division. That's what I want to do. You know, after I kill the division, I'm only 25, man. You know, I just turned 25. You know, you guys probably see me in the 55. We sooner than later, and we see what happens. You know, and you know, I'm just happy right now. I'm focused. You know, and you know, 45, the weight cut wasn't even that bad for me. You know, I still feel great. You know, I feel good. I probably cut more weight than Pettis for this fight. You know, but the difference between us is I know how to do it. You know, so I did the damn thing.
Hey Max, Thomas, Leader Arts and Television. Congratulations on your win. Would you like to talk to Dana and try to persuade him to have that fight with Conor, maybe in Hawaii, your hometown?
You know, if he's gonna have that fight with me and Conor in my hometown, they better get the load of security guards, because there's gonna have a bunch of UFC fights in the damn arena. Hawaiians is crazy. Hawaiians is fucking crazy. You guys laugh now, you know, but you guys think Brazilian and Irish fans is crazy. Hawaiians will punch someone. They don't talk. They just punch you. So they better have just as much as people that's gonna be in that damn thing as security guards. They're crazy. We wild people, you know. We're fighters. All of us is fighters there.
One more final question. You know, you love Toronto during this week. Toronto fans love you. Would you like to come back here again, fight again, headline Toronto?
Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah! I would love to come back to Toronto. But please bring me back when it's not as cold. That's one thing I ask. But I love Canada, man. I love Toronto. Everything is great. Like I said, I'm a Toronto Raptors fan now. It's my first NBA game. I got to meet a legend in Wendell Clark, and I love this place, man. They treat me like their own. Everywhere I went, they're chanting my name. Even when I come in, at the open workouts, I got the biggest screen. Over here, I got the biggest screen. And they went crazy for me with that Drake song. So, you know, I got to show them some love.
Matt Cole from Art Voice. I've spent quite a bit of time in Hawaii, and you're absolutely right. That would be a great card, and it's definitely a warrior breed. That would be a great place to be. My question is, assuming that you do fight Aldo next, wherever that is, how does a fight like that, how do you approach it from a technical standpoint? Do you fight him, do you train for him in a different way than somebody like, say, Pettis?
Oh yeah, you know, Pettis was more of a, you know, a high kicker, and Aldo is more of a leg kicker, you know. So they're two different breeds, you know. Everybody, though, you know. Me, you know, I got the best coaches in the damn world. If you guys haven't figured it out already, but we go out there, we break down these guys, and we prove I'm the best in the world, you know. Aldo's just gonna be another guy, man. We're gonna go out there, Max Holloway gonna do his damn thing, and you guys gonna be scratching guys' head and asking who's next.
Congratulations again.
Question. Anthony Pettis said that after the fight he broke his right hand pretty much on the first punch. Did you notice that during the fight at all?
I didn't notice it, man. He kept coming forward. He kept doing his damn thing, and he kept doing it, so I didn't notice. You know, all I noticed is that I landed the spinning back kick on him, then I landed the body kick, and then he was hurt, you know, and went in the finish, and I got what I wanted to do. I wanted to go in there and finish a guy in Anthony Pettis, and you know, I got the job done.
Nice. And you said you're on cloud 14. What does the next 24 hours look like for you?
You know, probably ice cream, donuts, pizza. We're gonna eat some barbecue here in a little bit. Just enjoying it, you know, enjoying life, and you know, just I don't know, passing the belt around, looking at it. I don't know, some weird shit. I don't know. We're blessed, man. And I don't know. I can't explain, but it's definitely eating food is in there.
Congrats. Hi, Max. Just the one question. Now that you're the interim champion, are you willing, you know, in the worst case scenario where Aldo is for some reason unable to defend over the next 6 months or something, will you entertain an interim title defense?
Of course. I'm the best man alive, like I said. Everybody always give me shit, like, oh, why you want to fight Aldo? Why you not calling out Conor? You know, it's like, look, Conor's booked. Why I'm gonna call out a guy who's already have a fight? I was looking out for Aldo. I thought he wanted to fight, and this guy is saying he's the best in the world. Come and prove it. You know, I don't believe in guys waiting for title shots. That means you fucking pussy. You don't believe that you're the best guy in the world, you know? I believe I'm the best damn guy in the world. If I gotta defend this thing 10 times before I get the undisputed thing, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna prove to you guys, prove to myself, and prove to everyone that I'm the best motherfucker walking on 2 feet. And you guys are all gonna witness it. This is the blessed show now, you know? I'm taking over. Thank you guys.
I know, it happened. I was like, actually, it's occurring. It's not as weird as I thought it was going to be. Yeah.